Let's get to this co-headliner because we have a new UFC Bantamweight champion. His name is Cody Garbrandt. And Bisping, as you said early on, he was out cruising Dominick Cruz in that early going.
You know, this is sad for me to sit here and say because, you know, for all the love and hate that me and Dominic have, I love that little guy, I really do, and I was rooting for him tonight. But, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. He was out Dominick cruising, he was out slicking him. It was Dominic, the one that was hitting fresh air. You know, Cody did a fantastic job of making Dominic come to him. We all thought that Cody was going to close him down, was going to chase him, was going to be the aggressor. But what Cody did was stand there in the middle of the octagon for the most part and let Dominic come to him. And as he came in and closed the distance, he landed beautiful counters. An amazing game plan, incredible performance. One of the best performances I've seen definitely all year, if not in the UFC ever.
When you fill an arena and you turn the lights on and you put that kid in an octagon, he turns into something very, very special. Now, his approach was brilliant. He was able to out-counter a counter fighter in Dominick Cruz. He was patient, he waited for Dominic, and then when it was time to land those shots, he was landing the harder shots, that is for sure. And we knew that heading in, but I don't think any of us thought that he would out-slick Dominick Cruz. It's one thing to go out there, we knew he could beat him, he had the power, but to go out there and make Dom miss like he did was absolutely brilliant. Cody Garbrandt is the real deal.
Absolutely, and I thought that as the rounds went on, as the less experienced fighter, that Cody would slow down, and that's exactly the opposite, actually. I would have said he lost the first round and he picked up momentum as the rounds gone. We have never seen someone lay hands on Dominick Cruz, who's one of the most elusive and best counter-strikers that we've ever seen in the industry. We have never seen somebody do what Cody did tonight. He really looked phenomenal.
Round 1 was close. Round 2 was close. Round 3 was devastating for Dominic. Cody knocked him down 3 times. I think in boxing that would have been the end of the fight. 3 knockdowns in 1 round. One thing that I didn't expect was the wrestling. Dominick Cruz tried to take him down on a couple of occasions, and when he did, Cody completely reversed the situation. You don't understand how crushing that is for a guy like Dominic that normally out-wrestles people, that takes them down almost at will. To try and take somebody down, to get the takedown, and to get reversed immediately, that really makes your confidence crumble.
Mike, I think that was the missing piece of the puzzle. For Dominic, that is a big confidence booster for him. It gets his whole game going. And people forget how good of a wrestler Cody was in high school and how good he is right now.
I think people maybe discredited Cody Garbrandt a little bit because of the verbal back and forth, and according to most experts and fans, he was owned in that department. This is a totally different ball game. This is an emotional guy and used the emotions, I think, to his advantage on fight night.
One thing that really surprised me about Dominic, here's a guy, he's a smart guy. Everybody knows, one of the best analysts in the game. He recognizes the threats of the punches. He knows one punch can end the fight.
Right.
Why didn't he have his hands up more? Because he was getting caught with those shots. He got dropped 3 times. At that point, it's like, listen, stop, get my hands up, go back to basics.
The only thing, that's never been a part of his game. It's hard to switch that on the fly. I agree with you, but it's hard to switch that on the fly. When you've been doing that your whole career and having success with it, it's hard to swwitch that up.
I don't know, man. You get whacked in the face and you get dropped and almost knocked out. I find it pretty easy to put my hands up.
Well, maybe he should have. But honestly, it's his style to move, and we've always known that that's playing with a little bit of fire for Dominick Cruz, is to have the hands down, but he's been so elusive and he's been so good at it, and it's been such a unique style, and it's worked for a decade for this guy. He has been the man, and tonight he met his match.
And let's give him some credit. In the 5th round, I think Cruz got the 5th round, so it's not like he was completely outclassed. He was beaten by the better man tonight. He's had a busy year. He's had 3 fights, 3 training camps. That does take a toll, a lot of pressure. You know, he got beat, but he did okay.
Yeah, and Cruz showed a lot of heart. I mean, he took a lot of damage in that fight, took a nasty headbutt that opened up a really bad cut over his eye. But more than anything else, I was surprised that Dom wasn't as patient as he normally is. He was the guy who was pursuing Cody. I was surprised that he didn't allow Cody to come forward. That's when Dom is at his best, when he gets guys to miss. And I think he maybe pursued a little bit too early in the fight.
Yeah, Miesha, seemed like Cruz felt like Garbrandt's chin was suspect, and that if he continued to force the offense a little bit, he would be able to get Cody out of there, and certainly had 25 minutes to do so and could not.
Well, Dominic did get clipped Cody's chin a little bit early in the fight, and I think he kind of smelled blood a little bit. And I was so surprised at how well Dominic recovered after being rocked like that. I remember when I was rocked by Amanda Nunes, I mean, I just didn't know where I was. It was hard for me to gain my composure, and Dominic just snapped back like a rubber band. I mean, I was impressed. He's incredibly tenacious. He has a huge heart for the sport, and I mean, he fought. He left everything out there tonight.
Yeah,
he fought.